Sure. Exchange of gases. Where the exchange of gases is going to happen? Alveoli. Alveoli are the primary sites of exchange of gases. Alveoli are the primary sites of exchange of gases. Where exactly happening, if we say that we said in the previous class like that alveoli, that to the alveoli, which is a part of lung, smallest part of lung, we can say lungs, smallest part, and this is the alveolar duct, the last part of trachea, last branch of trachea. Okay, so this is the last branch of trachea. That if you remember, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, then primary bronchiole, secondary bronchiole, tertiary bronchiole, terminal bronchiole, respiratory bronchiole. Then after we came in the form alveolar duct. The lungs. The smallest unit of lung is going to be alveoli. And who is another participant here in this? So atmospheric air enters into the alveoli. And who is another one? The blood capillaries, which is coming from the heart. Okay, so the blood capillaries who are coming from the heart. That means here, let me show you the two ends. This end and this is the entry. So it is coming from right ventricle, starting from the right ventricle. So where it is going? Left atria. So I will show you here. So a branch arises from the right ventricle, we call it as pulmonary aorta, then get capillarized, and all these capillaries are going to become a pulmonary vein, and the pulmonary vein enters into the left atria. So this is what the alveoli. We just talked about alveoli. This is alveoli. Means here exact structure you need to understand. Exact the words which we are going to use after these in the coming days for oxygen transport and carbon dioxide transport, you need to understand. These are pulmonary capillaries. This is right ventricle. This is left atria, and it is carrying deoxygenated blood towards the lungs. And after oxygenation, oxygen will be supplied here. Then after the oxygenation, oxygenated blood is coming into the heart with the help of pulmonary vein. This is the primary issue you people need to learn over. So this is alveoli are the primary sites of the exchange of gases in the lungs. The alveoli are the primary sites of the exchange of gases in the lungs. Then exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. Let me show you that also. Exchange of gases. Exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. Exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. Okay, so let me show you this. This is the heart, and as I already said in the previous diagram, that someone is coming from the lungs, will bring the oxygenated blood. Who is that someone? Pulmonary vein, and oxygenated blood from left atria to left ventricle, it will come, and the left ventricle that will go in the form of left systemic aorta. The left systemic aorta again branched into capillaries. Again, it branched into the capillaries, and all these capillaries are unite and form the vein, vena cava, we can say, that superior and inferior vena cava. Now let's talk about the tissues. These are the tissues. Okay, so these are the tissues. So oxygen transport like this, oxygen is coming to the tissues, will enter into the tissues like this. So gaseous exchange. Then after entry of oxygen, when carbon dioxide is formed, that carbon dioxide should go back into. So this is called gaseous exchange. So what we are saying, exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. That means these are the tissues. Okay, and what these are? This is very important to know that blood and tissues, which blood of which capillaries? Systemic capillaries. Complete map is very important for us. We need to understand where exactly oxygen is coming to the blood and carbon dioxide is going, and where exactly oxygen is going to the tissues and carbon dioxide is coming from the tissues. So these two issues we can say here. Left systemic aorta, we should write here. Left systemic aorta, which get branched in the form of capillaries. These are capillaries. Systemic capillaries, we can say here. These are systemic capillaries. And this is vena cava. This is vena cava. Maybe superior vena cava or inferior vena cava. So that a model diagram which explains you the total thing where oxygen is coming into the blood and carbon dioxide is going into the from the blood. So oxygen is coming, carbon dioxide is going. So this kind of exchange is going to happen at lung alveoli and pulmonary capillaries. Okay. Next, here, oxygen is coming into the tissues and carbon dioxide coming from the tissues to blood. This kind of transport, this kind of exchange is going to happen at the tissues. So this is the primary class that after this only you will understand all that particular concept which we are going to explain in the coming days, and all these transactions going to happen in a process called simple diffusion. That means concentration gradient is going to play a vital role. So that means here in the coming classes, we need to focus on concentration gradient. We are not using any energy. Only concentration difference is making this kind of gaseous exchange. That means here in the coming classes, we need to focus on that concentration gradient. Okay, so let's regularize this. The exchange of gases based on some important factors. Let us see that important factors. Exchange of gases is based on some important factors. Okay, so let's see one after another. The one we can say partial pressure, that I said it now. Partial pressure, because transfer is going to through simple diffusion means pressure or concentration gradient. We call it as partial pressure. Why we say it as partial pressure? In the coming days, you will understand. Partial pressure or concentration gradient of gases, which they are going to play a vital role. Simple diffusion means high concentration to low concentration. That means oxygen and carbon dioxide concentration gradients, which we need to focus in the coming classes. So how does it is going to happen? And the next, number 2, solubility of the gases. This is also a natural property, whereas oxygen and carbon dioxide solubility is going to play a vital role. This is also we are going to get in the coming classes. And the number 3, the surface, the thickness of the respiratory membrane. This is already we are completed. Thickness of the respiratory membrane. Means, as I said to you, alveoli is made up of simple squamous. Blood capillaries are made up of simple squamous. In between them, respiratory membrane we called it, if you remember. In between them, there is a basement membrane, and so the blood endothelium of the blood capillaries, they're also made up of simple simple squamous, and in between them there is a basement membrane, and now the transfer is going to happen. If you remember, we did it already. In the previous classes. Okay. Next, number 4, surface area. Our lung is like a tennis court where our surface area is more. That's why we are able to take more amount of oxygen and are able to release more amount of carbon dioxide. Okay. And the distance of diffusion. Next is going to be the distance of diffusion. So these are the 5 factors. The diffusion distance. Diffusion distance, what I mean, that is going to be this, nothing but thickness wise it will come over, diffusion distance given. Then let's come here, partial pressure or concentration gradient of gases, solubility of the gases, thickness of the respiratory membrane, and surface area, and the distance of the diffusion. These are the 5 factors which are going to play a role, and we are going to elaborate all these in the coming classes. And let's talk about them in a brief here. Let's talk about all of them in a brief. The pressure, if we talk about the pressure is contributed by, the pressure is contributed by, excuse me. Okay, the pressure, I think, okay, I should reduce pencil size. By an individual gas in a mixture, the pressure is contributed by an individual gas in mixture of gases, is called partial pressure. So what it is called as? It is called as partial pressure. So why we use a word always partial pressure? That if you take oxygen, oxygen concentration is going to be in various places, that means if you take a 40 member students in a classroom, that definitely oxygen pressure is going to be comparatively low, or else we are in a garden, so their oxygen partial pressure is going to be little different. It may be more there. So likewise, okay. So that's why we use always a word called partial is must here. The pressure contributed by an individual gas in a mixture of gases, we say as a partial pressure. Then we need oxygen and carbon dioxide, isn't it? So that's why we use it to say PO2, partial pressure of oxygen, PCO2, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. These kind of words we are going to use in the coming classes. Partial pressure of O2. Here it is. Partial pressure of CO2. Partial pressure of CO2, carbon dioxide. Likewise. Okay. So partial pressure of O2, partial pressure of CO2, partial pressure of oxygen, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Okay. Then we need to discuss here oxygen and carbon dioxide partial pressures in the coming classes. That I am not taking this much more here. That when we go to the topic, that we'll understand. That's why I'm not going to explain these particular gases partial pressure specially. So talking about the solubility, I think our hero came. Solubility, carbon dioxide solubility is 20 to 25 times is higher than carbon dioxide solubility, 20 to 25 times. Oh my God, who is that? Higher than that of oxygen. So that's why that carbon dioxide solubility is comparatively more. The amount of carbon dioxide 20 to 25 times higher than that of oxygen. So that's why carbon dioxide can diffuse. CO2 can diffuse comfortably, isn't it? Can diffuse through the diffusion membrane more faster than oxygen. Can diffuse through the diffusion membrane. So generally, we'll have an opinion on carbon dioxide. That all that opinion should lose over for us, because mostly when application logic questions asked over carbon for solubility wise, who is having more solubility? So we'll have a soft corner. Hero like appearance will get an oxygen, and it's like a villain. So villain key, why villain should have more solubility than our hero should have more solubility. This kind of attitude will come to the student. So that's why you need to be much careful here that more other carbon dioxide issues are coming here. It's not a villain actually. Okay, so that means if you are projected like that in your previous classes, okay. What we can say, carbon dioxide can diffuse to the diffusion membrane that per unit difference in partial pressure, per unit difference in partial pressure is much higher compared with oxygen. All these questions will get as a statement. Okay. So as about the diffusion membrane, I'll show you once again. The diffusion membrane is very important. So that's why let's take a look on the diffusion membrane. Once again, in the lung anatomy also I explained about the diffusion membrane. And even now I just shown to you about the diffusion membrane. Diffusion membrane is made up of three major layers. What are the three major layers of the diffusion membrane? A simple squamous epithelium. Then again, then we can say basement membrane, isn't it? Basement material. Basement membrane. And next, again, simple squamous epithelium. Now you should say, what is this first simple squamous? Next simple squamous. This is belongs to alveoli. And this is in between. And this is belongs to blood capillary. The most famous diagram we use to get always this one, that alveoli, which is made up of simple squamous epithelium. Actually, nowadays, from last 2-3 years, we are not getting diagram-based questions. At the time when diagram-based questions will come, this is used to come. This is going to be a bigger question always. That the diagram which I am going to draw here. The diagram which I am going to draw here. That is the blood capillary diagram. The red one I am showing with blood capillary. The blood capillary is made up of simple squamous. We know that among all the epithelial layers, the thinnermost layer is simple squamous epithelium, isn't it? The thinnermost layer, this we can say simple squamous epithelium. Okay, this is a simple squamous epithelium, is a thinnermost layer. This much gap is not there, but for your easy understanding, I just left a little more gap here, a little more gap. So this is the gap, this gap. What do you say? This is the distance of diffusion membrane. What we said, that this is the distance, very less we have. Okay, so what is this? This is basement material. This is the basement material. This is simple squamous epithelium of, this is the simple squamous epithelium of alveoli, isn't it? Alveoli. And this is blood capillary. So always you should have some imagination that if I say it is coming and it is going, if I say like this, so which part of the heart it is coming among the four chambers? Right atrium opens into the right ventricle, pulmonary aorta, now pulmonary capillary. Okay, then to which part it is going? If I say it is going to the heart? Yeah, very good. Left atria. Through with the help of pulmonary vein. This clarity is required for us. This clarity is required for us in the coming days to understand that this clarity is required for us. So we end up this session with the two words, pulmonary gas exchange and systemic gas exchange. So we'll end up the session with pulmonary gas exchange and systemic gas exchange. Not a new thing here. Till the time whatever we are seeing, that we are making under heading. That's all. Pulmonary gas exchange. Or you can use another word. This is external respiration. In other words, it is said to be external respiration. So where it is happening here between the alveolar air and pulmonary capillary, which favors the diffusion of oxygen from the alveolar air into the blood in the pulmonary capillaries and diffusion of carbon dioxide in opposite direction. Let's do it with diagram. This is the heart. This is the heart. And I think we need to start with the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, who will come? Pulmonary aorta. And this pulmonary aorta will get branched into many capillaries that all get branched into many. Wait. So heart should be minimized. Our story should be maximized. That means our alveoli should play a vital role here. Alveoli of simple squamous epithelium. Now only I shown this. Now we are explaining in the form of pulmonary gas exchange and our blood capillaries. These are all the blood capillaries. So all these blood capillaries, we say pulmonary capillaries, and these capillaries are coming from. Okay, so for our comfort only, I am doing this. I am going to draw two hearts. Or else we can do this with a twist. This is the right ventricle. Okay, and next I am twisting here. Actually, lung and heart are present in same place, isn't it? Thoracic cavity. So just for our understanding, we did this, but actually we need to go for here, exchange of gases. Oxygen should come from a lung alveolar air to oxygen with the concentration gradient difference, which makes them, and carbon dioxide from pulmonary capillaries to alveoli. Okay, this is alveoli, and these are pulmonary capillaries. So how these are all, how these things are going on, that we have to start transport of gases in that way. Okay, so I did this. Let me show you clearly here. What exactly right ventricle to left atria. This is the journey. Right ventricle to left atria. So this is the point which we are shown in the microscope. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, the second one. Second one is a systemic gas exchange. Systemic gas exchange, we call it as systemic gas exchange or internal respiration. Systemic gas exchange or internal respiration. Okay, so systemic gas exchange or internal respiration. So first of all, let me draw what it is exactly. It's a journey from left ventricle to the tissues and from the tissues to the right atrium. Left ventricle to right atrium. Okay, so that facilitates us to understand here comfortably. All the diagrams which are drawn here are completely imaginary, may not match with the original. Only for our understanding. So left systemic aorta is coming And this left systemic aorta is going to be branched into many capillaries. And what do you call that particular capillaries as? All that capillaries are said to be, all that capillaries are called as systemic capillaries, and all the systemic capillaries are moving towards the, so
Right.
yeah, this journey from left ventricle to right atrium. So what these are? Systemic capillaries. Systemic capillaries. So here what should happen? At systemic capillaries, what are available? Tissues are available. So what we have to give to them? Oxygen. We need to submit oxygen and we need to take over carbon dioxide. Just follow the animal. Oxygen is given, carbon dioxide is taken. So here carbon dioxide is going, and more other issues we'll discuss in the coming classes. So whatever it may be, if you make in the point of view of heart, we can say that a journey from left ventricle to right atria, is systemic circulation, even we can say left ventricle to right atria. All these are capillaries, and this is the journey. We call it as systemic circulation. And right ventricle to left atria. These are the capillaries, and all the capillaries will come here. I hope you are not confusing with the given diagram. What is this? This is left ventricle. This is right ventricle, right atria, left atria. This is the reason in the beginning of respiratory system itself I explained heart. So we are going here means lungs. We are going here means tissues. You should know each and every name. This is left systemic aorta, which is arising from the left ventricle and supplying blood to the tissues. Then this is vena cava, which is arising from at the tissues and going towards the right atria, vena cava. It may be superior or inferior based on that particular position. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Okay. And that who arises from the right ventricle of the heart, that is said to be pulmonary aorta, which is going towards the lungs by taking carbon dioxide. Okay. Then which is coming from the lungs, this is the direction. Direction is very important here. Direction, this is pulmonary vein. So this is the pulmonary vein which is coming out, which is coming from lungs. Okay, so what it is carrying means it is oxygenated blood. Okay, so this is the complete pulmonary circulation. The circulation related to the lungs, we can say pulmonary circulation, which occurs from the right ventricle to left atria. Okay, so in the mean period of time, this area we need to see in microscope. That means here in detailed manner in the coming days. Here it is the area which we have to see in the coming days. And this kind of circulation we say systemic circulation. It will be easy for us when we go to the heart. We are learning all the concepts which related to the heart also. To understand oxygen and carbon dioxide transport much better, we are learning these concepts also. So this is systemic circulation. So how does the gaseous exchange is going to happen? How and what concentration gradients are helpful? What are the other factors influence the intake of oxygen and giving of carbon dioxide? All these issues we are going to discuss in the coming days, that exchange of gases under the heading exchange of gases. Okay. So